I've been selling on Etsy for over 2 years, and I put down here a presentation showing exactly all my results, everything I did, why I started, and also the errors that I did all the way. So, my name is Diana. I was actually a biomedical scientist and a photographer when I started my business. I always loved design and styling, and I always loved as well to create small business. I had no clue of any of it, how to create Clipart, how to create images with AI, how to do prompts, and also how Etsy actually worked. However, I took the hit and I learned all the way until now. A lot of things I did a mistake, others I learned. It is part of the journey. So why did I choose digital products? Because once you do one, it can sell so many times. A lot of people create a digital product and then say, oh, it took me like 1 hour and I'm going to sell for £2 or $2. However, you need to think of that same product will sell over and over again. So I have so many products that I've sold like 100 or 200 times. And that is where is the power of digital products. Also, it has a tiny startup cost. It's not a big investment to try this type of business. You just need to know exactly which tools and each steps you need to follow. It uses as well things that you might already love, like me, that is like the design, the styling, the creation of things online. And you have so much freedom and flexibility. You can work from everywhere and you can just go do some of your collections and then walk away. Whenever a client buys, it automatically sends to them. There is no orders that you need to ship, nothing of that. So what is my journey? So I started in October 2023 is where I started with researching, doing some AI image and learning how to prompt. Then after 1 month, I reached 100 sales, which was incredible. And it was when this started that I start thinking this is a real thing. I actually can do it. And I've just been very, very consistent until now. I found my style. I tested so many vibes, different things, and then I found what is a niche that my buyers love. And now I did £88,000 in revenue and 34,000 in sales. This in only shop, and at the moment is very passive. I used to do a collection like every 2 or 3 days. Now I do about like 2 or 3 a month. So what was the click that did the difference for me is a lot of people when go to Etsy, they just create what they love and they hope for the best that it sells. They start like tweaking the logo, the banners, just thinking that is the problem. Also, you will just wait to everything will be perfect until you list. That is what I used to do. But then at some point it clicked and I realized that I need to research first because I need to do things that people are searching at the moment. So I just merge a bit like what I like, what as well people are researching. I focus in doing listings consistently instead of just putting random stuff in my shop. I understood that well, 20% of the listings will do most of the work. The other 80 possibly will just like sell 1 or 2 times. The other 20 is the spot. And then the secret is always to keep listing and be consistent. So what worked for me was research before creating every single time. You need to know what people are searching at the moment. I always niche down very hard. So instead of just doing like random animal clip art, I will pick a subject like pink farmhouse baby shower clip art, just to have a low competition and a high demand. Then I use always a real prompt formula that has the subject, then put the outfit, action, angle, style, colors, and normally isolated in white background. So I always follow this recipe. And then I make sure that I do scroll stopping thumbnails because the thumbnails is what make the difference between your competitors, is what will make the buyer to click in yours instead of the others. Also, you need to do the SEO properly, so your titles and tags need to have exactly the words and keywords that buyers will type when they want to find your listing. And one of the big things for me that made me scale was bundles. So I always create bundles, even inside of one of the collection, instead of just doing, for example, if I would do the animals, instead of just doing animals, I'll do the whole thing. I'll do the animals, supported elements, like the houses, the tractor, and just some other bonus. And this is what make a high value collection. So the habit that I built to create my shop was I would do research, then create, list, and just read the data and just keep repeating this process until now. So this is my shop today. I have 953 collections. Like I said, 20% of them does amazing. The other 80, it just go with the flow. A lot of people that go there and buy my bestsellers, then they end up going back and like, buying the others. So what did not work for me was trying to sell every vibe. I don't like to mix too many things in my shop. So for example, I know there is a fever now with junk journal that I love so much, but I cannot just now decide to put junk journal in my shop because my shop is very niche now for Clipart, mainly in the cute side. Then don't go too abroad. I wanted my shop to be for everyone, but it's not for everyone. It's just for this specific person. Also, something that I used to do and I stopped doing was putting the title in the description. Don't do that. I did that when I started and I just stopped immediately. Also, don't do generic prompts. So vague prompts will not create the amazing clip art that we want. You need to be very specific. And what I do now instead is I have my own style. I pick one clear sub niche that has low competition and high demand. I also use real keywords in my descriptions, and my prompts are very, very detailed. So here is just some myths as well that I found. So a lot of people say that you need to be a designer. You don't. If you have the eye, you can do it. You don't need to be a designer and have a degree in designer. You can do this as well. And then people say as well, oh, AI clip art cannot sell on Etsy anymore. Yes, it can. I proved myself and I keep selling. And I know a lot of people now can create images online, but the problem is creating the big pack consistently, like with all the characters the same. And people that have other business like printables would rather buy a collection for like £2 or £3 than spending like 2 or 3 hours creating the collection they need for their printables. So that is why it's important to create a really good collection that will serve the buyers in that aspect. Then they say the market is too saturated. It is not true. I have so many members that I am teaching now that they just put their shop online and they are already having sales. So it is not saturated at all. You just need to know which niches it needs to do and always follow the high demand and low competition ideas. Then other thing I heard is, oh, just put ads and it will fix. No, if your listing is not working, it's not ads that will make it work. You're just gonna spend money for nothing. And some people say it is quick, easy, and it's just passive money. It is not. When you start, you need to work. This is a journey, not a sprint. So you need to enjoy the journey. You need to be there. You cannot just put 1 or 2 listings and just pray for the best to have results. It doesn't work like that. You need to be consistent. When you have a big foundation like me, then it becomes a bit passive because, for example, now I'm selling collections for summer and sometimes for back to school as well. And I'm starting to sell now things that I did a year ago. So I already have there things for that are upcoming. And so once you do like 1 year full of shop, then you can breathe a little bit more. That was what happened to me. But when you start, you need to be very consistent because it's there that is a secret in Etsy. And then the last myth that is a big problem, not just in Etsy, but in all the business world, is whenever you have a little flop, it doesn't mean that you failed. It's not because you're having like 1 or 2 weeks that your sales are down. That means that your shop is destroyed. It's just gonna give up. No, there is always this downs in business, and the people that overcome is the ones that have the success. You need to understand this is normal. Not all of the listings you're gonna do, you're gonna have sales. Like I said, about 20% will carry the shop. The other 80% will do the little in the shop. So at the moment, I sold over 34,000 times sales and I did 88,000 in revenue, which is amazing. And I always love to wake up and then go to my phone and check all the sales. And if you want to learn all my journey completely transparent, I don't keep any secrets, any prompts, nothing. You can join my community. I will show you inside. So this is my amazing community. I put together so many things in the classroom. You have from the foundation, so how to search for the low demand, how to search for the high demand and low competition, how to create your Clipart, and I go through like a lot of other tools. My main tool is Midjourney. That is why I did the Midjourney mastering. But I always show other tools that you could do. And then you have how to clean and package. So how to prepare your listings to be in a high quality to be sold. And again, I show you not just one tool. I always like to show several tools so you can decide for yourself. And then in module 4 is all about Etsy. So how to package, how to open your shop, how to do SEO and all the other things. And also what is my workflow when I started. And recently I just did one about Etsy ads. So to know exactly how to run them. I have Create with me. So this is really fun. Is every month I release 2 or 3 Create with me workshops where I pick a specific thing and I create with you. So for example, in a year, I created folk art frames. Here was the Grand Millennial style. I did some alpha doodles as well. In here was the Shinoizar Clipart that is very trending. And I go step by step with you. I give you the prompt, I give you everything so you can go straight and do yourself. I have here all the guide tools and prompts, the Clipart vault that you can use this Clipart for your printables as well. And then you have the monthly QA. And something super excited is my Tools Hub. So in the Tools Hub, you have the roadmap, you have a workflow that will help you from ideas to list it, and you're going to have all your collections here as well. And then we have all the tools that I created to help you just speed up. You have the Monday trend. So every Monday, I released here new trends. So you know exactly which ones you should jump right now. And then you have prompts. Here is more prompts. So for example, this one is to create this cute alpha doodle. So you can just select. It will give you an amazing prompt. Here is for biblical characters, and I keep adding. And then this is all tools I created to speed up your list collections, just as bulk rename, a Clipart grid, the listing image preview. You have a bot to help you doing the SEO. Oh, and I almost forgot. You actually have as well a bot that is my Muse Lab to help you brainstorm how to do your collection. So if you want to have a look how it is inside, at the moment I opened a free trial and you can check inside for you for 7 days and check everything that is available for you for your trial.